Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If it's your first time joining us here, you're welcome. If you're seeing my video for the second time or you're a returning subscriber, thank you very much for coming back. I really appreciate your time. And if you're an OG, you would know that your girl has been away for quite a while. But yeah, I came back with a reason, alright? So if you want to know why, and if you want to catch up on my life and everything that's been going on, please keep on watching, and please don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and share with your friends. Okay, all right, now let's get into it real quickly. Okay guys, today's video I'm just going to be telling you, it's going to be a life update. Basically me telling you what's happened in my life so far, the reason I've been away from YouTube, and yeah, answering some questions that you guys asked me on Instagram. All right, this video is going to be a little bit emotional, so grab your boxes of tissue. All right, tissue paper. If you know you don't like vulnerable stuff or emotional stuff, I'd advise that you skip this one. But if you really want to know what's happened, I dare to say that I've gone through the hardest and most trying times of my life this past 2 months. It's been exhausting, it's been trying, it's been hard, but God has been coming through for your girl over and over again. So now let's backtrack. Where do I even start this story from? I don't even know. But before I start to answer your questions, because people on my Instagram, if you follow me on Instagram, then you have an idea what's happened so far, right? But if you don't, then you'll be lost. So I have to kind of tell you what's happened so that you understand when I start to ask questions. So now let's backtrack. If this video is long, I want you to watch it, all right? Because I'm going to try to be as open as I can be and not to hold anything back. So therefore, I'm not going to edit a lot of it, all right? So let's take it back to 25th of April. No, 27th was a Monday, 26th was Sunday. No, 27th was a Tuesday, 26th was Monday, 25th was Sunday, 24th. Why am I even doing this? I can actually just check my calendar, right? Okay. So let's take it back to the 23rd of April. On 23rd of April, if you watch my YouTube channel, you know that I shuffle my masters and work, right? So 23rd of April was a Friday. I would normally leave school and come to Lagos every weekend for work. But then that whole period was very hard for me. I was going through a very bad financial period. And I was just like, it cost me too much to come to Lagos because I used to pay like 10K for cab one way and 10K the other way. So I was like, if I don't have work in Lagos, it doesn't make sense for me to go. So I was willing to stay back in school that weekend to just chill, do schoolwork, and just be in school. And when I mean be in school, I mean be at my parents' house, because I go to school from my parents. I used to go to school from my parents' house, right? Because it's very close to where I'm doing my master's, Covenant University. So that Friday, I made up my mind I wasn't going to Lagos. I was talking to my friends and I was like, I'm not going to Lagos this week. I'm staying back this week. And something happened, right? Someone called me for a job on Saturday. I'm like, the pay is not good enough. I'm not going, right? The pay is not enough to go through the Lagos to Water stress. And as God will have it, someone called me for another job for Monday. Monday, I had a presentation with my HOD. My HOD, you don't mess with that woman. So I was not willing to miss her presentation. I was like, oh, I'm just going to give the job to someone else. I'm not going to go. Then my mom said she wanted to go to the hospital for a checkup and blah, blah, blah. I should help Pasha make arrangements. I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me just go to Lagos. So This was on Thursday, sorry. So Friday morning, I told my dad, Daddy, please take me to school. I don't want to drive because I don't want to drive to Lagos. So I need you to take me to school so you can bring the car back home and I can find my way from school. Driving from Lagos to Ota it is so stressful. It's like a 3 hours drive. So I don't like to do it. So I begged my dad to take me to school. My dad took me to school, waited with me till I saw my lecturers, submitted the forms I needed to submit, and this man was waiting till I was done. Right. Now Friday, I left school, came to Lagos, and I had my work on Saturday and on Monday, right, as well as other runarounds I had to do. Now on Monday, my dad called me. We just said I talk to my dad every day. I used to talk to my dad every day. I talked. I spoke to my dad that day. It was my brother's birthday that Monday, so we spoke. We just said I spoke to my mom. We all just said and laughed and the whole shebang. I left set on Monday by 1. No, I got home by 1. I left the set by like 12:30. It was a music video shoot. I got home by 1. I had slept for barely 2 hours. And I got a call. I didn't get a call. Something happened that changed my life forever. My brother rushed into my room and it was like, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. As he woke me up with so much fear, and I'm like, what's happening? What's happening? And he's like, something happened. He doesn't know. He can't reach my parents, and people are calling him. Yada, yada, yada. I'm like, okay, calm down. Let me know what to do. I stood up. My phone was dead, so which is why people were not able to call me. I charged my phone, and my eldest, no, the second one of the family called me, and he's like, I need you to be calm. I want to tell you something, but I need you to be calm. There was a robbery at home and they shot mom and dad. At that moment, I can tell you for a fact that I was not processing, right? I just told my brother, we're the only ones in Lagos. My other siblings don't stay in Lagos. So I told my brother, grab your car keys, let's go. At this point, I had not told him what was going on. And I got downstairs, and auntie called me and she was like, I want you to take care of yourself. I want you to be all right. I want you to know that God has got you. I'm like, what's going on? She was like, your parents are dead. I believe you me, at this point, I was not processing. I just got my brother to get his car key. I calmed him down. I couldn't even tell him what was going on because it's a long drive to where my parents stay, and I didn't need him fidgeting on our way home. The whole drive home, I just kept thinking, I just kept praying, I just kept thinking, and I just kept praying. I just kept thinking, I'm like, how can this be true? What is going on? And it dawned on me by 6 a.m. No, by 6:15. I sent a text to 2 of my friends and I wrote, my parents are dead. I waited up until 6:15 because my dad used to call me every day by 6. 6, 6:15, 6:30. I talked to my dad. I used to talk to my dad every day. By 6, I kept looking at my phone, it didn't ring. 6:15, I kept looking at my phone, it didn't ring. My brother's phone was not ringing. My dad just called every one of us every day, right? And my phone didn't ring, and I knew that something had happened. And I texted my friend, and I'm like, my parents are dead. So we got home. When we got to the entrance to our street, I told my brother, park. I need to tell you something. Because I didn't want him to get there and be surprised. And you know how Nigeria is. There'll be crowd in the house. A lot of people will be there and yada yada yada. So I told him to park the car. We're already on our street. And I told him what happened. So we drove to the house. Getting to the house with a lot of people. This is the first time I'm having to recount the story like this. I always shy away from it. Got to the house, a crowd. I got in. And the sight of what I saw broke my heart to 1,000 pieces. I have never in my life felt so much pain at once. It was, I saw my dad lifeless, a bullet through his chest, his heart. They had boggled the window to the house. I went into the house and I saw my mom. They beat my mom. They beat her, they cut her. She had like a stab mark here. They had beaten her, like her body was bruised, and they shot her twice on her hand. And I don't know what to tell you is the worst thing that can happen to somebody than losing both parents in one day. It was I cannot find the words to describe how I felt or how I feel, because random days I just break down in tears and it is ridiculous. So yeah. After that, my other siblings came in, flew into Lagos, and one of my brothers could not believe it. The whole flight, getting here, he got home and his faith was so strong, and he kept praying and he kept praying and he kept praying and he kept praying till he had to accept it. So we did the arrangements. It was a Tuesday, buried them on Friday that week, just so that everybody could move on. And never in my life have I thought that I'll lose my parents to bullets. It's so annoying because killing my dad because of like material things is like the irony of the life that he lived. My dad had no value for material possessions, absolutely no value. He was such a giver. Like he believed that everything was vanity, right? So he believed in taking care of other people, giving, and just doing the best that you can. So for him to have been killed for material possessions made absolutely no sense. So I'm trying to keep this story as short as possible. Now to the questions, right, that you guys asked. And I'm doing this story time and of life updates so that you guys know, because it's going to have to come up in a lot of my vlogs, or some things will change, and just so it's not weird. And a lot of people have asked, I cannot count how many people have asked me, oh, how did it happen, or what happened? And I cannot be recounting to everybody. I can't do that. I can't prove myself through that. So if I ignored your message, I'm sorry, but it is painful to have to say this thing over and over and over again, especially when you know that some people are not asking from a place of care or from a place of deep concern. It's just the next thing. They just feel like that's the next thing to ask when something like this happened, right? Or what happened? What happened to them? And I know, I mean, it's okay to be curious, but don't ask me, don't ask my siblings, because you're making us open up our wound over and over again. I can do this now because I've prepared myself for it for such a long time. All right. So let's move on to the questions. So I'm not going to read the names of the people. I'm just going to answer random questions. And I'm not going to answer every question because some questions are absolutely ridiculous. So somebody said, what helped you get through your exams with all that went down? I was steadily praying for you. Thank you so much for praying for me. It was all I needed at that point. Thank you so much. So funny, my final MBA exam was literally 3 weeks after my parents died. I was in no way mentally ready for this exam. Absolutely no way. ready. And I had missed school for like a month. That's from when they died up until my exam period. So I'd missed the classes, tests, exams. It was a whole lot. I didn't want to go back to school. The only thing that kept me going was, in the first place, I was doing this master's to make my parents happy, right? Until I actually fell in love with what I was studying. I didn't want to go back to school. But my dad was just all about, okay, your master's, okay, your master's, typical parent stuff. So I said, okay, let me go and do it. So one of the things that kept me going was the fact that that's what they would have wanted. And I remember always talking to my dad about how it was my final semester. After the semester, no coursework, I can work, yada yada. And we're always just gisting and making a lot of bands about it. And he was so supportive through the whole MBA period. He used to have to drive me to school. When my car was faulty, he would give me his car and let me use it and not have any car to use. So I could not let their efforts go to waste. I know how much my mom just wanted me to finish as well. So that's the first thing that kept me going, right? The fact that that's what they wanted, what they really, really wanted. And I don't come from an affluent background, so it's such a big deal for my parents to have been able to send me through school. And I went to a private university for my BSc and also send me to a private university for my MBA. My parents are not affluent like that. So it was such a sacrifice and a struggle. So I could not watch their struggle go to vain. So I had to just brace myself. I definitely knew that it wasn't going to be easy, right? But I just said I was going to do it. I said to myself, even on the day that they died, that I'm going to do this and I'm going to make you proud. But it wasn't easy. I'm not even going to lie. And okay, now, during my exams, after the first week of my exams, I had 9 papers to write. So the first week I wrote 3, the second week was 6. The second week I fell sick. No, the end of the first week I started to feel sick. I started having this banging headache constantly. Banging headache, and my temperature was just rising. I was just not comfortable. It was a lot. And the Friday of the first week of my exams, I fainted. Right? I came to Lagos for a job because I needed money. So I just needed to do everything together. So I came to Lagos for a job and I fainted that day. I was on set, but I had to just get myself together and just try. That same Friday, they stole my phone. And it just felt like everything was happening at once. And it just felt like my life was going to shit. Funny story, the Saturday after, I ran away. Nobody saw me that Saturday. I just went somewhere to cool my head. Because I was done. I was not having it. I was not having it. I was just done. Right? But, I got myself back together and I came back. So, going to school. I went to school on Sunday. I was like, okay, let me just go to the hospital, get a checkup done and know what's going on. For me to get to the hospital, I realized that my blood pressure was very, very, very high. And the doctor kept looking at me. I was like, how old are you and what are you thinking about? So I just had to say to myself, Team Tokwe, you have to get through this. And shout out to Okweyemi and Adiola. These are the people that actually helped me get through my exams. They like held my hands through the entire process, reading with me. Like even one night when I could not read, because I was sick. I was sick throughout my exam. I was really, really sick through my exams. And they just held my hand through it. Shout out to my girlfriends. My girlfriends are the realest OGs. Belema, Susan, Yvonne, Ibi, Kenny, Rolake. See, I don't think I can mention everybody, but you guys know yourselves and you guys are the realest OG. I've never in my life had to depend on my friends so much than how I am depending on my friends right now emotionally. And just, I don't know how to explain it, but they carry me through. And it's in this period I understand the beauty of true friendship. And my friends are the real OGs. Like, shout out to you guys. Shout out to my friends' moms that have stood up for me, and I've just been there. I'm not going to lie. I've been surrounded by so much love and support, genuine love and support. My friends' moms have been there for me. Nobody can fill the gap of a mom, but the fact that they go the extra mile to make sure that I am all right, or to make sure that I am in good health, or to just check on me, to call me, it's just beautiful to see, and I'm grateful to God that I have such good friendship, right? So I've talked a lot. Anyways, another question is, how have you been coping since your mom and dad passed? I mean, mentally. I'm not going to lie, my mental health went to shit. If he's awake! You guys, out of context, but this girl was supposed to help me film and she slept off. Anyways, back to the video. Have you been coping since your mom and dad passed? I mean, mentally. My mental health went to shit. I'm not going to lie to you. I think it was the second week after. That's when I returned back to my house in Lagos. And I went to do my laundry. I dropped my clothes at the laundry. And I don't know, for some weird reason, I just started crying. So I said, take a walk. And I took a walk and I walked into the main road. Like, I walked into a moving vehicle. And you guys, don't get me wrong, I wasn't suicidal or whatnot. My mind was just absent. And I walked into a moving vehicle and it almost knocked me down. And it was at that point I said to myself that I needed to seek help, right? Because if you tell me off the fan. Sorry. It was at that point I said to myself that I needed to seek help, because genuinely I wasn't suicidal. I was just absent. Like, you know, when I wasn't really feeling, I was just absent. Like, my mind was absent. So I reached out to Mentally Aware NG on Twitter. Shout out to you guys. You guys came through for me and I'm so, so grateful. And they hooked me up with a counselor that I was able to talk to. So I had like a couple of sessions with this person and he was able to help me unpack how I was feeling at the moment and just, move forward. And from that process, I decided I was going to go to therapy because it was a lot that was going on. And prior to now, I had experienced a couple of losses. Like, I lost a sibling, I lost a brother a very long time ago. I lost my cousin, then I lost I lost two very close friends. Right, I lost one in 2020, I lost one in 2019. So it was a lot. And you know how human beings are, like, things just keep, like, little things just gather and just make it like a big deal, right? So my mental health was really, really going to shit. So I'm grateful that I sought help. I'm grateful. Shout out to Amina. Amina hooks me up with mentally aware. I can't remember, but I think so. Shout out to Amina. Shout out to my friends. Like, my friends were just looking out for me at every point, even the therapist that I have now came from a friend, right? So that's how I've been coping since my parents passed. Said, I feel like you've not really dealt with the situation. I really pray that you find peace. I love you. Thank you so much. Okay. Now I'm going to address this. I know this particular person, I know she's coming from a place of love, right? But I've gotten a couple of shitty DMs of people telling me how to grieve. I'm sad that I lost my former phone because I used to take screenshots, then block them. Somebody came to tell me, I can't remember. If you can remember that message.
Yes, no cry.
Or something about me not crying, or me not knowing how to behave, or I can't even remember. And she wasn't the only one. I got like 10 messages like that of people just policing how I grieve. And this is one thing I need to tell you guys, right? And you don't know that you do it, but the average Nigerian does it. Stop telling people how to grieve. Like, there's no handbook for it. You can't sit down and say you want to. You see, if you cry from now to tomorrow, it's not taking that pain away. You wake up the next day, you still have to deal with the fact that you lost somebody. You wake up 3 days after, a week after, a month after, 3 months after. Do you know what it fucking means to lose a father and a mother in one day? You're coming to tell me that I didn't cry. Or somebody else, I can remember one other DM, a person telling me how I'm acting like a witch. I'm like, are you fucking stupid?